You know they'll send her for him.
But she hates him.
It doesn't matter. They'll still send her.
There's only one to be sure. I've put together a Tier 1 search-out team, just in case Cobra does show up. I'll meet with the team at 14:30 hours. Wanna come?
No, I'm gonna take this motley crew and check the back 40. No surprises, right?
Well, alrighty then.
All right, it's 14:30 hours. So I won't mince words. We know they're coming. The only question is when. Looks like that's now, sir.
Gentlemen and Sergeant.
What can we do for you, Colonel?
At ease, Sergeant, I'm here to help.
How are you going to do that? Exactly!
With these babies right here, that's how. S.H.I.E.L.D.'s latest acquisition. Captured and reprogrammed. One of these Praetorian commandos can fight with the force of an entire fire squad.
Oh yeah? Let them prove it! Come on, Mr. Rapto. Let's see what you got. I hope you're paying attention, pal, 'cause you're next! Drop! Your turn, pal. Go ahead, pal, don't be scared. I don't think you'll break much. Well... Hey, what a show-off! So what are you waiting for? Drop it already, you've proved your point!
Where would you like me to put it, sir?
Very funny. Everybody's a comedian. Ha 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 ha! Where do I want you to put it? Just put it down behind you! So you're strong. Let's see what kind of speed and coordination you have. A true warrior has to be aware of surroundings at all times. You think you got the hang of it, son? I think so, sir. Show me. Well, what are you waiting for, dummy?
Well, I'll be damned. Good job, son.
Satisfied, Sergeant?
Okay, so I'm a born-again believer. When will they be ready to fight?
How about yesterday? These beauties are what G.I. Joe needs to take out Cobra's robot bat attack. Because without them, well...
The enemy robot troop movements are advancing rapidly. We need to adjust the perimeter defense immediately.
Shield's intel also showed an attack from the rear. Don't worry, Major. We've got her covered.
Ready! Go! Damn! What the hell happened?
Targets neutralized. Is your team okay, ma'am?
What the hell are you supposed to be?
We are the Praetorians.
Well, you two look more like Cobra bots.
Captain J, look! We are the Praetorians.
You've said. So, any ideas how to get back to base? How? Okay then. Let's ride. Call Joe Base. Tell them they've got incoming. Go, Joe! Tick, tick, boom, baby!
Ma'am, Colonel Flint ordered the deployment of these new SHIELD prototype anti-armor weapons to engage against the enemy.
Don't let me, guys. Hand those pea shooters over to those guys. Move it, you two! Fire already! Aim for their heads! Whew, those things were pretty tough. You're harding Ollie by Gregotis. You got rowdy battery bots, that's for sure.
No?
So, the reports are true. Cobra's got a new mechanized weapon. But I don't think that was it.
So, is it over?
Not if she hasn't shown up yet.
Those fools below have no idea what's in store for them. Pirates of Fear, why do these freaking robots have to fly so close?
It's for your own protection because they all have cloaking devices that extend over the plane that conceal it from detection.
Theranos, please remember to say over when you're done speaking.
Whatever. Over. Are you happy now?
Couldn't we get human Cobra operatives for this mission?
After Cobra Commander's capture, Serpentor wanted to test this new organization's SHIELD's new robot's capabilities. Over.
This is a stupid plan. I hate the multiverse. Over. And who is this Madam Hydra? That name sounds like a prostitute. Over. Anyway, get these freaking things away from me. I'm ready to
Roger. I will have them land ahead of you to secure the area in the clearing ahead, based on your coordinates. Over and out.
Move out of the way, you mechanical monstrosities. What a ridiculous mission. Cobra Commander should rot in hell, or at least in a G.I. Joe prison. Oh, to hell with it. Let's just get this done. And no human troop assistance, just these stupid second-rate bat robots. You there, stupid robot. Be good for something. Assist me at once. Carefully now, or I will sell you for spare parts. Very well. Now that we know the extent of this Praetorian robot's abilities, let's free that fool, Cobra Commander, and tear down G.I. Joe and S.H.I.E.L.D.
He'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is the...
Hey, brothers and sisters out there in action figure collecting land. Welcome back to the second video of Figure Fables, a place where we can play with our action figures using stop motion and AI programs to bring them to life. Here at Figure Fables, we use action figures from different lines and real settings to tell short stories just to have fun. Let me apologize to all of you right from the jump for making you suffer through such a long video. I really didn't intend for it to go this long, but that happened. Hopefully your eyes didn't start bleeding too much from the strain. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a special guest host here, my son, Emma.
How's it going, guys?
So, today we're going to be looking at G.I. Joe's classified S.N.A.K.E battle armor, as well as Valaverse's Praetorian, two of my favorite military-style robot figures. What do you think, Emma?
Yeah, S.N.A.K.E armor's cool. Definitely got those retro vibes. Looks a little more like construction equipment than a military-style thing. But, I mean, it's still really cool. I think I'm partial to the high-tech, sleek, modern version of that Valaverse figure. But, you know, with both these figures, you get Spice of Life. You get best of both worlds, so yeah.
Yeah, that is true. I know we're going to be reviewing both of these, but before we do, I wanted to bring attention to an interesting comment, a good comment, that we got on the first video. And we want to thank everyone who did leave comments and the likes. But this particular comment, and I'm paraphrasing, was, you know, you could just do the Annie shorts and don't necessarily need to get into the reviews. I hear you. And if it's something that you all prefer, we can certainly do that. After all, any discussion of the figures here isn't truly a review, especially when compared to a Jay Hernandez or a D Amazing. What we do here is more along the line of a spotlight that emphasizes specific figures, and at least for now, some older releases. But let us know in your comments, because we could 86 the reviews. I enjoy doing these spotlights, but I enjoy doing the Annie shorts so much more. And again, apologies for this long Annie short. I got a little carried away, but it was a great opportunity to learn more of the ins and outs of the AI program, and it gave me a chance to combine it with stop motion. I had no intention of it being this long. I absolutely promise that in the future, any Annie shorts will be 5 minutes or less. If I experiment, I won't take it out on you guys. I promise. But anywho, let's get on with the review. So first up, we've got our G.I. Joe's classified S.N.A.K.E battle armor. And for those of you who don't know, the letters in the S.N.A.K.E armor stand for System Neutralizer Armed Cloaking, with a K, Equipment Battlesuit. A little convoluted, I know. No, I'm just curious. And Apollo, did you know that I have a special place in my heart for this figure?
Do I know why you like the figure? I mean, any specific reason? Not really, but
It's pure nostalgia. I had a 3 3/4 inch version of it on my wall locker in the military. If it wasn't for that, I don't think I would like this as much. It's kind of bulky. I've heard that Hasbro's planning to re-release it again in blue. That'd make it tougher to film because I have to use a blue screen background, as most of the Joes, the ones I collect, come in green. But yeah, it's the nostalgia of it that I like. But I still think it's pretty cool. What are your thoughts on this armor?
well, I've seen the figure, obviously out of the package. It's cool. It is bulky. It definitely looks like it's an old design. Not something I'm particularly fond of. I just feel like it's kind of impractical. It looks more like the power loader from the Aliens franchise.
True, which may have actually inspired that, considering that I think this predates that.
Okay, yeah, it's kind of got that that vibe, with the claw and everything. Like it's more for construction than combat.
I get that. Aliens may have actually inspired this, considering that I think Aliens
Well, I've seen the figure,
predates
obviously,
the
out of the
Snake
package.
armor by about two
It's
or
cool.
three
It is
years.
bulky. It definitely
And
looks like
speaking
it's
of
an old
claw,
design. Not
what we're
something
going to
I'm
do
particularly
now
fond
is
of.
take a look at some of the
I just feel
Snake
like
armor's
it's kind of
accessories.
impractical. It looks
So, as you can see, the accessories are a pretty simple pack out. Here you've got basically a flame or plasma weapon. You've got a closing clamp, a mounted missile, and another one, which could be a machine gun. And you've got left and right hands, which are unarticulated in fixed poses. The only thing we can't really see here yet are his chest hatch and his back jetpack, which we'll get into in just a second. I know these are some pretty simple accessories, but what are your thoughts on them?
Yeah, I have definitely a problem with these accessories. I feel like I'm having a problem with a lot of things with this figure, but these accessories have zero paint apps on them. And as someone who's gotten into painting a lot of guns in my Warhammer models, I've come to appreciate a good fire on metal effect, like that purple orangish color on a flamethrower, or any sort of scratches or scuff marks on machinery or weaponry. So the fact that these are just plain black does kind of make me a little upset, but I guess it's something that can just be fixed, with your own paints at home.
Right, of course. In just a second, I'll be showing the figure out of the package, and he does come with flame effects, which kind of help it out. But I see what you're saying.
Because some of the other G.I. Joe stuff that I've seen does do that. It does incorporate, like some of the vehicles and whatnot in the Annie-Short do have really cool paint apps on weapons that have been fired for a long time, and you can see the metal start to the paint start to wear on the metal, and I think that that's really cool.
Do you mean weathering? Oh, no, you're talking about the lack of a wash. As I stated before, they're going to reissue this thing soon, but it's going to be blue. Hopefully it'll be a cold metallic blue, kind of like the Jet when it comes out. I'm probably more particular to this one though. I can see where a dark wash on both the chassis and the accessories could benefit the figure. Let's take a look at it out of the box. So, I'll bet you change your tune now, M. Apollo. Just look at those colorful fire effects. It just makes all the difference in the world, right?
Definitely helps. I mean, I'll probably steal those flame effects and use them on my Lehman Russ flamethrowers for my 40K minis. You're not gonna hear me stop talking about 40K. Okay, I'm upset.
Well, I think I told our viewers that about you the last time I did a review. But a couple of things that I didn't mention earlier in this review is that the Snake armor also comes with 2 arm cuff attachment fasteners to more securely attach the accessories. I'll stop the turntable so you can see them. Interestingly enough, the arm accessories and effects all attach on their own without the cuff fasteners. But I guess, and it's only a guess, that these cuff fasteners are meant to make the accessories fit even tighter. In any case, it's a nice added option. You can see the 2 tanks that attach to the figure's back, which are already attached to this figure, so you can see how they look on it. Now, probably one of the best features about this figure? And what is it that made me want the Snake armor as a bodybuilder, you ask? Okay, so you didn't ask, but I'll tell you anyway. It's because the Cobra Trooper actually fits inside the armor pretty easily and completely. I imagine the question has come up about this figure, probably around the time it came out, as to the difficulty of fitting a figure inside the armor. You can. And it fits pretty easily for what it is. But it really is more nostalgic for me, and I do like the design. And when I stop to think about what I had to play with as a kid, well, static monocolored chunks of plastic, bright plastic. Of course, I did have the 12-inch Big Jim and the 12-inch G.I. Joes, but compared to what we have today, wow, yeah. For me, it's mostly nostalgia. The Bats admittedly have a more futuristic and a sleeker design. But what do you think?
Are you able to close the hatch with the trooper inside?
Yep, it totally closes. No problem. No problem at all. Now, on the Annie short, I have one of the bats inside the armor. They don't fit so well. But again, the Cobra Trooper fits nicely. Take a look. As you can see, the Trooper fits easily in the armor with no issues. The toughest part of getting the Trooper to fit snugly was fastening the armor's interior seatbelt over the Trooper's head and getting it snapped. But what was more the issue was my big fat hands. What's interesting is that you don't really need to put a figure in the armor. Not really. All you really have to do is just imagine that there was a figure inside the armor. I guess unless you're making an Annie short showing a figure being taken out of the armor. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, it's always cool when figures fit how they're supposed to fit. But I mean, I think this is what's always separated, G.I. Joe from other lines like Valaverse is G.I. Joe always has to kind of be partial to its history, right? So, like, in my opinion, that's what holds it back is you get the goofiness from, when did G.I. Joe come out, the 80s?
Actually, G.I. Joe came out the year before I was born. It was produced in 1963 and hit stores in 64. So this line is about the same age as your old man.
Wow, yeah, you get a lot of vibes. You get a lot of old vibes from G.I. Joe still to this day. And for people that like that, that's great.
Right.
I think I'm a bigger fan of kind of the modern warfare kind of look of a lot of the Valaverse figures. So,
yeah,
there's...
And speaking of Valaverse figures, oh, by the way, I'm not going to get too much into the snake armor's articulation, but it has basic movements. The legs move, the knees and elbows bend, the arms move up and down and slightly move out to the side. It has a swivel at the waist and even some slight ankle movement forward and back. The head doesn't turn, but it's not really expected to in a figure like this, and it does stand well. For what it is, it's pretty posable, which is kind of pleasantly surprising. And speaking of being surprisingly posable, you brought up Valaverse. Let's put the spotlight on the Praetorian. See what I did there? Never mind. The Praetorian. Valaverse's premier android from the Crimson Shadow organization. This is, in my humble opinion, far and away the best modern military android or robot figure among the different toy brands out there. I understand that the guy who owns the company used to work for Hasbro. I dig watching his videos. And from everything that I've heard, he basically took everything that was wrong with G.I. Joe and kind of made it, well, right. So if you look at this figure here, and pardon my finger, I think Trigger is his name, this is probably the most authentic looking military figure out of all the lines. I wonder, and I believe the gentleman's name is Bobby Vala, which is in itself an awesome name. I think I'm going to use that name the next time I'm out at the disco. I wonder if the guy's former military. I loved his Sergeant Slaughter, but thought Hasbro's was a better fit for the workout scene in the Annie short. And that's not to say Hasbro hasn't upped their game on their classified line. I'm not really into the more exotic ketchup and mustard or sports jersey, brightly colored type figures. And that's not a knock on any of my brother and sister out there who are into them. Different strokes, one man's poison, and more power to you. I prefer Cobra robots over troopers. I have about 20 Cobra troopers of various types. And although, in my opinion, if you're going to have an evil force, why would you count on humans? It's almost like stormtroopers. Why use them instead of clone troopers? I don't know. The Praetorian card back describes it as follows. Praetorians are weaponized androids created by Crimson Shadow as the tactical evolution of the foot soldier. Each Praetorian possesses a neural engineered processing hub protected by linked carbon armor plating and equipped with special weaponry. Through their Aegis technology, Praetorians can generate solid light shells. I think they meant to say shields, to deflect bullets and projectiles, and a focused photonic blade. The strength and dexterity of the Praetorian allow them to reload their weapons with frightening speed, reproducing magazine cycle times to almost zero. They never seem to stop firing. Praetorian forces are capable of multi-signal manipulation, sending out electronic emissions that confuse and cancel enemy transmissions. Praetorians cause panic on the battlefield simply by reputation. They move faster, fire longer, and simply do not stop. Sorry, I got a little carried away again. While Praetorians being available to order is a chilling concept, it is better than the possibility that they are all working together toward an unknown goal.
Dang, who wrote that?
I have no idea who wrote it, but again, this guy Vala, he's not messing around. Look at all of the figures' accessories you can see in the package. I'm going to bring it closer to the camera so we can talk about them. Sorry, there's a little bit of double back tape there. Let me pull it off so that you can see what it's got. We'll shine some light this way so you can see it a little better. What comes in the package is a pistol, 2 types of rifles, which I always play out as pulse rifles, and a plasma sword. It's got 2 photonic shields, which can be attached all over its body. It's got multiple hands, and we'll lay it all out when we break it out of the package. So before we do all that, M. Apollo, what are your thoughts on the Praetorian?
Yeah, so I'm going to coin a new term. Cobra compatible. These guys look a lot like they would be a part of Cobra.
Yeah, which is why in the Annie short, Lady J tells the Praetorian, you guys look more like Cobra bots.
These guys look like the bad guys for sure. I think I always like how Valaverse does try to. It seemed to try to think like what would be the more realistic design, right, with their things. Like for instance, he's carrying what looks like a Vector, like a Chris Vector style submachine gun there.
Well, let's bring him out of the packaging and lay out its accessories. So here's the Praetorian out of its packaging with its accessories. The 2 different kinds of rifles that it comes with, which I think are awesome. Its plasma sword, which is pretty darn cool. And then it's got those ricocheting bullet or muzzle flash effects that can fit at the end of its sidearm, as well as its 2 photonic shields. What are your thoughts about the figure and its accessories?
Yeah, cool, good stuff. You know, looks pretty articulated. I do think the holes on him, like the peg holes for the different accessories, are a little I don't know, apparent when his accessories aren't attached. And I wish maybe there was some alternate pieces that could cover him up.
Oh, okay.
Because they kind of just stand out from the rest of the design.
That's fair. That's fair.
But other than that, I mean, it's a cool figure.
It's funny that you bring it up because while I was making the Annie short, I was considering covering those holes so they couldn't be seen. But I thought doing that might be too much. I thought it might take away from the authenticity of the presentation of the figure if I showed them without the peg holes, and it might push the whole aspect of AI too far. But sans that, this is an awesome figure. The Praetorian has double knees, double elbows, great rotation of the shoulders. Surprisingly, it doesn't have ankle rockers. But it's got good swivels and hinges on the ankles. It can achieve multiple poses. My only regret about this figure is that I didn't get more of him. We're going to do the comparison shots like we always do in just a bit. But I just wanted to say again, this gentleman at Valaverse, he's doing G.I. Joe right. And honestly, I think since he's come on the scene, we've seen an improvement in the classified line.
They did that line where it's like, it's supposed to be like veterans kind of line, the G.I. Joe line, where it's like the most authentic versions of each military branch. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh yeah, I have some of those, especially those associated with the Corps. But I've also heard that Valaverse is going to be putting out some World War II figures that I'm dying to get my hands on. So you know we'll be talking about that sometime in the future. Again, I really like this figure. So here we have the Praetorians. I'd have to count these guys among some of my favorite figures when it comes to military lines. They're pretty futuristic in design and could also be compatible with so many sci-fi lines like the Four Horsemen's Cosmic Legions. Oh, and one of the things I neglected to mention are their removable magazines and spare magazines that are attached to their legs, and they can all be loaded into their rifles. Any thoughts or comments about these extra mags?
Yeah, I didn't notice the magazines until you pointed them out just now.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I don't know. I mean, I think personally, the detachable magazines, I mean, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but I could see how it might be annoying if they're loose. I haven't messed with them, so I don't know like how snug they fit.
Well, what I've turned to doing is tearing in half those little double-sided clear adhesive dots that we use to stand the 3 3/4 inch figures. And we use them to stick to things like those little mags to their weapons, backs, or anything so the carpet monster doesn't get them. They virtually cost nothing. It's what I use to secure their weapons to their backs. Normally, it's not something that I really care about. I just like them as a design feature on this figure.
Definitely for like specific shots and stuff, showing them reloading could be pretty cool. But yeah, that's some good advice with the sticky stuff there. So yeah, good stuff.
So, in the end, I'm really glad that I got the snake armors. You know, someone recently asked me if I really have all of these figures, or if I'm digitally putting them in the videos. Yes, I actually have the figures. I feel like I'd be misrepresenting the hobby if I was creating the figures in AI. Though I will be honest with you, going forward, there is a consideration about possibly creating AI buildings and other constructs. But I'm afraid that some of you may get tired of seeing the same set pieces, rocks, buildings, etc. You'll have to let me know. M. Apollo, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, they're cool. I see the appeal for army building. They're not quite my tempo, but I definitely see how they could be cool for someone who kind of grew up with that original design. Because I know, like, when they remake video games and stuff, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I certainly don't have any buyer's remorse. I've never sold a figure. I've given away duplicates. I love having them, especially now that I've got the time to put these little figure fables together. So I'm enjoying them in a new way, and I'm enjoying making these videos. And as we say goodbye, I'm just going to do a few comparative shots, and we'll go from there. Here we have the Praetorian with spider droids from the SP//DR or Spider-Mech from the Spider-Verse. What are your thoughts on this comparison?
Yeah, no, those little bullet effects on the Spider-Man figure are really cool. And you can see you have him like shooting. No, it's dope. I mean, it's cool. You know, I always thought Valaverse was really cool. I haven't seen really too much of what else they've done, but I like that they kind of dip into the realistic warfare vibe and then the sci-fi vibe. So
yeah.
With these older figures, you can really see that the articulation scheme of the Praetorian figure is so much more improved, and he really stands well when compared to the classified figures that fall over all the time. It really was frustrating when making the Annie short, but because the Praetorian has wider feet, which really helps it stand, admittedly, that's probably not an option with some other more human-type figures. Let's take a look at some comparative shots with the snake armor. Here's the snake armor fighting some more known and recognizable characters. Up top is the Zyclops character from the Lightyear movie. Yes, it was the best Mandroid that Hasbro never made. I seriously considered putting the Legends Mandroid Build-A-Figures in the Annie short, but 1, it was already running too long, and 2, the VAF is just too small. I could have made him a little bigger as seen here with AI, but that would be cheating. Come on, Hasbro, produce the Gold Mandroid as one of those Pulse exclusive figs. Would you hard chargers buy it? I would, in a heartbeat. Here it is with the Hulkbuster Iron Man and the Batman Hellbat armor. I know it's really no contest, but I thought it'd be fun. Like I said, I enjoy doing these spotlights, but I'm also going to listen to your advice, recommendations, and preferences. Based on some of the comments that came in, if it turns out that you guys don't want to see some of these more obscure characters, just let me know. Because I'm okay with just putting out the Annie shorts. But if we continue with the spotlights, I need to get better with them in time for Mattel's DC line, Jada's Invincible line, and future Marvel stuff too. So let me know, so I can plan my day. But honestly, with companies like Hasbro doing their Pulse streams for their classified, Black Series, Vintage, and Legends lines, I'm not so sure that with so much reuse, similar articulation, that the toy reviews won't just become passé, which is why I have the gimmick of the Annie short. But again, let us know.
Yeah, no, I particularly like this setup because I think this is the first time I'm realizing, like, that's a big figure.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're showing the scale with that, and these other they're 6-inch figures, right? Like I know the Hellbat is McFarlane.
Right, which is a little larger.
A little larger. I mean, he's like coming up to his hip level, and so this is a big robot.
Right.
So you're definitely getting, your money's worth in that department.
You know, I didn't focus on the classified bats, and I really like the bats. The thing is, they've gone on sale. Super 7 initially had theirs at over $30. I got them on sale for $12 each. The Hasbro bats were also on sale, and I'm always good with that. So I bought a bunch of them. I even lucked out on a large baggie full of 3 3/4-inch bats for $10, which is one of the reasons why they're featured so prominently in the Annie short. But before we go, any other comments you want to make about the snake armor?
About the snakes? Not really. I feel like the acronym of the name, they were just trying to find, a roundabout way to fit the acronym SNAKE because of Cobra. And
No doubt about it. The name is convoluted for sure. I again want to apologize to everyone out there because I know this took a long time. But please know that the current plan that I have with my AI program is for 660 credits monthly. And with the trial and error of learning the program, I really had to wait to be able to get my credits replenished, because a brother just can't be throwing money around, not on a fixed income these days. But anyway, I hope you guys all enjoyed this one. We've got another much shorter one coming soon and more in the pipeline. So please, continue to comment down below. And for those of you who subscribed, I really can't express my appreciation enough. I didn't really expect any subscriptions this early on, nor did I expect such a high number count. At the making of this video, we're approaching 500. I wanted to get something out before we hit 500, and it looks like we're going to be right around there. And I listen to all the critiques and take them seriously.
And Apollo?
Oh, good stuff. I mean, thanks for showing support. I've been seeing the numbers go up, so hopefully you guys like this one too. And don't be afraid to give us feedback, because we're looking for what the next best course of action is when it comes to the theme on this channel. So yeah, keep letting us know what you think.
Thanks again, guys. And stay frosty. And guys, do absolutely not let your toys watch Toy Story alone. Weird things can happen.